Hi, this is Denise with PaperKraftD. So I was watching Kara Brandon Creations. She did a video about making some viewfinders, and it inspired me to pull out some of my dies. I literally just purchased this. This is the 2067 Weekend Fun. I don't think you can find this anymore. This is a Planner Essentials from Elizabeth Craft Designs, but they have other viewfinder type dies available, either through them or through other companies have them. But this is the one that I'm talking about here. This was a set. And these are the dies that I'm going to be using. And I really loved what she did. I thought they were super cute, but I had an idea for a way to kind of adapt it and use it a little bit differently. And I ended up, they have these circles. This one's like really big for that one. I don't know how you're supposed to use that exactly. Maybe you're supposed to use that with this. I'm not entirely sure. But I didn't use those two dies. I ended up using these two dies because this creates this like background circle and then this kind of ring, like decorative ring. So maybe this circle here, maybe you're supposed to use this and glue those two on top. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But anyway, so I cut this out for the circle, and then I used this one to cut these out, and these fit pretty much perfectly right on top of these, just like that. What I'm thinking of doing is creating a viewfinder where I put a little brad in the center, and then I can turn this like that. And so I'm gonna, kind of try to just do some mass making and, just do a whole bunch of these kind of like in rainbow colors. So that is my idea. That's what I'm going for. And let's just play around with it and see what we can do. Okay, so now when Kara did her little viewfinder thingamabobbers, she actually took these little pieces that come out of here and she colorized them, with the colors of the rainbow, using her distress inks. I'm going to actually color these backs. Okay, so let's see. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay, so those are the colors that I'm going to use. Okay, so I just put something, one of these silicone mats down to protect my surface. And the colors that I'm using are candied apple, spiced marmalade, mustard seed, pine needles, blueprint sketch, chip sapphire, and dusty concord. Okay, so I'm going to make this super easy on myself. I'm not even pulling out my watercolors or anything like that. Just going to use my watercolor pen or brush, some water if I want to, and I'm just going to take these lids off here. So I'm just adding a little dab of ink in front of each of those cubes so that I know which color is which. Remember, this is watercolor paper, so I'll do 4 at a time. I'm just using this to kind of wipe off my pen between colors. So let me see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet all of these. So I'm just going to take and dab this. So these are wet, but they're not like super duper saturated wet anymore. Okay, and I'll just start with the red, and I'm just gonna kind of go like that. I'll do that on all of them. Oh, did the wrong one. It's okay. Clean that off. Now I've got to go back to the orange. This orange and the yellow look awfully similar. I might have to use, all right, there's the red. So I'm just adding each of the colors, as you can see, around each of the circles. I'm doing one color at a time and going through the colors of the rainbow. So I think those look kind of pretty. And then, all right, so let's see, I'm just going to, again, I could even wet this like this and see what I get. Get a little bit more blending in these. That's kind of cool looking when they get a little bit more blended. Do that one. That one turned out cool too. Just put it off to the side, let it dry. Yeah, so basically, if I just do a little bit more water on it like that, that looks kind of cool actually. I like this one too, but let's just see what it looks like if I add a little bit more water. I don't want to take water off now with this because otherwise it'll take the color off. So I'm just going to let that dry, just like that. Okay. And I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put this up a little closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with the red. Okay, and then I just take that a little bit off with my brush and then do the orange. I could use just all primary colors on this and then blend them out. That might even be easier. Okay, so this second batch that I'm making, I'm not adding water after the fact to make them blend. So those turn out a little bit brighter, and the first batch turn out a little bit more pastel. All right, so I dried all those with my heat tool. And then I'm just going to take and put this right on top. So I'm thinking I might want to stamp something over the top of some of these. All right, so I'm just kind of curious what would happen if I used this this one right here on there. The red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, violet. Let's see. Let's just go like, yeah, I don't know. All right. All right, that looks kind of cool. Let's see. That does look kind of cool, actually. Okay, so I think I want to use the just the white ones on those. And then I'm gonna go ahead and ink up, just use some pumice stone distress ink on the edges of these And I'm gonna do it also on the edge, you know, around here. Okay, so you can see I inked these up and I inked these up, and I think that's gonna look so cute. Really, really cute. Just a, you know, a totally different look, right? Just a totally different look than this over here. But both of them are super duper cute. Super cute. Look at that. That one's cute too. It's just softer. A little softer. Really pretty. Okay, and I'm gonna put a brad in the center. So really it's now figuring out what brad I want to put. I've got plenty of options. I made these white ones quite a while ago. I bet that would look really cute in there. And it doesn't matter that it's not absolutely perfect. I'm not gonna be too fussed about that. So I'm gonna get that like that, and then kind of line it up as best I can. That looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna use my pokey tool, poke right down in the center like that. Let me go ahead and put my brad in right away. Oh, looks cute. You know, you can just try different things, see what you like. I kind of like the white for that one. That looks really cute. And then, you know, you can just take this and turn it around like this. You get all these different colors. You know, you can, it does not just one color all the time. You can see the rainbow of colors that you get. So that's kind of fun. I like that. Okay. All right. Let's see. I do this one now. Okay, I'm gonna try this little green one. I love this green one. Oh my gosh. Look how cute that looks. Oh my goodness, I love that. All right, so that's just a whole different kind of look there with this cute little brad. So you can have fun choosing brads for these little viewfinders. You can get as simple or as elaborate as you like. I did a combination for the white ones, but for the stamped viewfinders, I stuck with just some primary color plain brads because I thought the stamping was a little bit busy and I didn't want to throw it over the top and distract from that. These are fun. That was a fairly quick, fast make. It took me about an hour start to finish to make 8 of these, and that pretty much includes the die cutting as well. So yeah, and you can see how different they look depending on if you make the colors more muted and soft, whether they're bolder, you know, the color of the little brad that you put in there, whether you stamp on them first or you just kind of leave them, you know, the way they are. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have a Viewmaster die like this in your stash, you're inspired to give this a try. It's really a lot of fun. I hope that if you do like any of the products that you saw in this video and want to purchase them, that you use my affiliate link in the description box below and also at the end of this video for Elizabeth Craft Designs. You get a discount on your purchase, and it helps me a little bit for my channel. So I'd really appreciate that. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. If you are not a subscriber and you enjoy this kind of content, I hope that you choose to subscribe and perhaps share it with friends. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever seen anything like this before, and if you are inspired to make one yourself. And give me a thumbs up. That always helps my channel. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is Denise of PaperKraftD, and craft on.